The reactions to the video that Donald Trump posted, the racist one with the depiction of Barack and Michelle Obama, is pretty quick, actually, a negative reaction. And not just from the people that you might expect, progressives or even centrist Democrats, although they were incensed as well. Some Republicans have been pretty clear that they don't like this.
All right, folks, welcome back. We're diving headfirst into the latest outrage cycle, and boy, is it a doozy. Donald Trump, a video, and the usual suspect screaming racism. But let's be real. Are we really surprised? Or is this just another calculated distraction from the actual issues plaguing our nation? We're going to break down the hypocrisy, the flimsy excuses, and why the establishment just can't quit clenching their pearls over Trump. Stay tuned because it's going to be spicy. Let's roll the tape.
Senator Tim Scott said, praying it was fake because it's the most racist thing I've seen out of this White House. The president should remove it. So that's good that he was calling for it, and he called for it to be removed before it was removed and maybe contributed to it being removed. That's good. I would love to know what the next most racist thing he's seen from the White House is, because evidently he's keeping track.
Oh, the classical political pivot. Tim Scott, bless his heart, suddenly finds his voice against racism, only when it's politically convenient. Remember when he was practically campaigning for Trump, trying to convince everyone that Republicans aren't racist? Now with Trump's polling in the 30s, according to them, suddenly he's seen the light. It's almost like these accusations of racism are less about actual injustice and more about political leverage. It's the left's favorite cudgel, isn't it? If you don't agree with them, if you dare to challenge their narrative, boom, you're a racist. It's a lazy argument designed to shut down debate, and frankly, it's getting old. The real question isn't what Tim Scott has seen, but what he chooses to see and when. Let's be honest, his timing is as transparent as a freshly Windex window.
We had Representative Mike Lowell.
Hold on, John. Before you go to the rest, I got to jump in on Tim Scott because that's the most important part of the story from a political perspective. Why? Because there's nowhere in the world Tim Scott calls that racist if Trump's polling is not in the 30s. If Trump's polling was in the 50s, but certainly even in the 40s. The whole point of Tim Scott's existence is to say that Republicans are not racist. So like he had one role only in the campaign. Donald Trump is not racist, Donald Trump is not, I'm a black man, Donald Trump is not racist, no matter what he said. But now Trump is in the 30s and he's deeply unpopular, and all of a sudden Tim Scott found out that Trump's a racist. Okay, so that shows you where the tide is going, and that's why it's important politically. If Tim Scott is backpedaling out of the room of Trump and not doing his primary job as a Republican, that means the Republicans are where Trump's starting to be an albatross around their neck.
100%. Representative Mike Lawler wrote, the president's post is wrong and incredibly offensive, whether intentional or a mistake, and should be deleted immediately with an apology offered. The deletion has happened again. The apology has not happened. And when someone asks him at his next press conference about it, he is going to demand they smile so hard. So he's not going to like that. Badia Ungar Sargon said, this is gross and racist. The president should delete it and apologize. The clip with the Obamas is the last 2 seconds of a minute-long clip on voting machines being hacked. So maybe Trump didn't watch it till the end. Maybe he didn't even post it himself. If that's the case, he should say so. Well, the White House said so, but he hasn't said anything. He's apparently just doesn't have the testicles to actually own up to what he did, or at least what happened on his account. And so bear in mind, they haven't apologized. They have now said that it's some staffer. You don't get to know who. They are under the same veil of secrecy that all of Epstein's co-conspirators are under.
Oh, the old blame the faceless staffer move. It's a political equivalent of my dog ate my homework, but with far more sinister implications, apparently. Comparing a social media post to Epstein's co-conspirators? That's quite the leap, even for the perpetually outraged. It's almost comical if it weren't so transparently manipulative. This isn't about accountability. It's about crisis management and controlling the narrative. When the left gets caught with their hands in the cookie jar, it's an unfortunate oversight. When Trump's team does it, it's a deep state conspiracy worthy of a true crime documentary. The double standards are so glaring you need sunglasses to look at them. They want you to believe there's some shadowy figure behind every offensive tweet, rather than facing the simple truth that sometimes people post just dumb stuff. Or perhaps they don't care about the pearl clutching as much as the mainstream media wants you to believe. That's just crazy. Sometimes things just happen.
Earlier in the day, interestingly, Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt told PBS a very different cover story, which was, this is from an internet meme video depicting President Trump as the king of the jungle and Democrats as characters from The Lion King. Please stop the fake outrage and report on something today that actually matters to the American public. And so she implied, well, obviously we're never gonna take anything down because we never do, but oops, in this case, they actually did. But honestly, her cover story there that it's just taken from a meme video, again, begs way more questions than it answers. So first of all, why was something from that meme video added to a voting machine thing that has nothing to do with Barack Obama? That's very strange. Why, out of all the stuff in the meme video, was only the clip of Barack and Michelle Obama taken out? No Chuck Schumer, no Hakeem Jeffries, just people who aren't involved in the election. Also, by the way, I don't know if you've seen The Lion King. There are no gorillas in The Lion King. That scene with Michelle and Barack did not exist. Those are not characters that are in The Lion King. So why in this meme video did they invent animals for the former black president of the United States? And why did they choose the most racist possible choice? These, I think, are very necessary follow-up questions. I doubt Carolyn Leavitt will actually answer them.
All right, here's my last set of clarifications. First of all, our excellent team of producers figured out that it was not Barry Weiss, of course, in the video. They wouldn't want to attack beloved Israel or right-wingers. Olivia Juliana apparently is who was being depicted, if you cared.
Oh, didn't even look like her.
Yeah, I don't,
Because
honestly.
AI sucks.
Yeah, I'm gonna, all right. I'm afraid of revealing myself as a boomer and not exactly knowing who that person is.
She's an activist and an influencer.
Oh, okay, God bless. Happy to have her. Okay, so look, so to me, I'm not as like furious about this as other people are. And is it because I don't think it's that racist? No, it's obviously an over-the-top racist, right? But I guess I'm surprised that people are still surprised by that, right? So like, I'm the last guy to call all Trump voters racist. I've been telling everybody not to do that, right? I've also told you that there's about a quarter of his voters that are extreme and very likely fit that description. And I can show it to you in the polling based on their answers on different questions. So we're not smearing everybody, we're being very particular in that case. But has Trump leaned into racial grievances and done racist things in the past that would lead me to believe that at a bare minimum, he would use racism as a tool to advance his personal agenda? Of course. Come on, you gotta know that, right? Do we still not know that at this point? Do Trump voters, I mean, the 25%, again, you're never gonna break through to them, right? But even the majority of Trump voters gotta know by now, come on. I mean, even if he's not racist, he doesn't mind using racism to try to appeal. In fact, you should be more offended than anyone because he's assuming all of his voters are racist.
Hold on a minute. This is where the left always trips over its own narrative. They want to simultaneously claim Trump is a racist and that he just uses racism as a tool. Which is it? And more importantly, who are they to tell his voters what they should be offended by? It's condescending, it's arrogant, and it completely misses the point. People don't vote for Trump because they're racist or because they've been duped by some racial dog whistle. They vote for him because they're tired of being ignored, tired of economic policies that hurt them, and frankly, tired of being lectured by the same very elites who create the problems in the first place. They see a fighter, not a manipulator. The idea that Trump assumes his voters are racist is just another projection from those very same people who do assume his voters are racist. It's a classic gaslighting technique. Invent a problem, assign a motive, and then tell people how they should feel about it. Newsflash, folks. Trump voters are smarter than that. And that is what the left is afraid of.
And then finally, the other reason is all this thing with animals, I don't care at all, right? Like, so a million years ago, somebody, one of the first nicknames I ever had on online, and I've had many, was Fat Brown Buffalo. And they thought that was really gonna bother me. And they did this meme of me. So I don't know, maybe this is where it all started. You know, since we're the first show or longest running show in internet history, this was probably 15 years ago or something. And you know what happened with it, John? I kind of loved it. I was like, they're like, you're overweight. I'm like, really? Wow, Sherlock Holmes figured that one out. And they're like, you're brown. And I'm like, and? So I was playing, we did like fake football teams with me and my son, even when he was a little kid. And I named myself the Brown Buffaloes. So like as it's bad, he's a terrible guy, but let's not get too hung up on it. Like, let's go forward. It's not to excuse anything he did. And John, again, to go back to the Tim Scott thing, the most important part of this story politically is how many Republicans, including some of the voters like the C-SPAN guy, immediately started backpedaling away from Trump because he now has a stench on him. And so where some of the voters might have tolerated some of that before, maybe they're not raised, but they could tolerate it, they could live with it because they hated the alternative. Now it feels like a lot of folks now can't live with it now that they see his true face.
Well, this is going to be a rough period upcoming for them because he is going to present 1 to 5 of that sort of situations every single week from there on out. And it's just going to hasten his descent into stinky lame duck. That's what he's going to be if he's not already that.
And there you have it, folks. Another day, another manufactured outrage designed to distract you from the real issues that matter to everyday Americans. Whether it's politicians playing political games or the media trying to dictate what you should think, the playbook is always the same. But we're not falling for it. We are here to call out the BS, expose the hypocrisy, and keep our eyes on what truly impacts our lives. So tell me, what do you think about these racism accusations? Are they genuine or are they just political theater? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. Until next time, stay informed and keep fighting for what's right. And as always, stay vigilant, Patriots, stay vigilant.